Hi and welcome to this week's Friday video. It's about 8 o'clock at the moment, just after, quarter past 8, and just looking for some trades. You could say, well, why, what's this going on the euro dollar here at the moment? This is a 5 minute chart, and at the moment, the euro, I've got a bit of conflict. So it's under pressure on the smaller time frames, like here, all the way up to the hourly chart, but the slightly higher time frame I have a bit more conflict on, so I'm not doing anything with the euro at the moment. So at the moment, just scouting through the different markets, and then we'll come back to this as when I find something. Okay, folks, looks like I'm going to be taking a long. Got a little divergence here between this low here and this low here. We've hit a number of support levels on my charts. So although in the short term here on the smaller time frames we're down, like I said, I had conflict with a higher time frame. So and then we've just done this divergence. So it's going to be getting in, putting a unit in here, and then there we go, long at 73. I'm just putting the one unit in because I've got so many open positions at the moment. I'm just keeping these trades that I'm doing with you a bit, just keeping it to one unit. But just going to put a stop down below this low. But this is a trade that, if it's going to work out, I'll better put the stop in, so let's just sort that out. So if it's going to work out, it's let's put the stop there. So the stop's going to be down at 112.68. Bearing in mind, it has to go below 112.68 on mine, so that's really a stop at 112.67 for most people, most brokers. Mine has to go below on the ask in order for me to get stopped out, so therefore it is 112.67 essentially. But anyway, so it's such a easy little trade here but if it comes up, I have no intention of doing anything with it as far as getting in and out quick or anything like that. I'll just try and see if it can work its way up a bit today. I've got some other levels, but there's no point in even talking about those levels yet. But they are certainly above 113. So we'll have to see. So risking just a tiny amount there from where I've just got in. So it's really small actually, isn't it? Yeah. So we'll have to just see. So it's a tiny risk, and so because it's only a however many pips risk that is, and we'll have to just see. Okay, I'll press pause for now and I'll come back to this. Okay, just back, and as we can see, the euro is so far running for us. Now, bear in mind, this is a 5 minute chart here. So, like I said this morning, I was ignoring this prior down move because it was in conflict with the bigger time frame analysis that I had. And so we saw this divergence down here on the 5 minute chart. So therefore, that was sitting in line with the bigger picture analysis I had. So I was not going to be short in the euro this morning, even though that early move was to the downside. So we've got in from 73. So we're only up about 13 pips at the moment. And actually, the target, and I know that on a lot of these Friday videos lately, obviously I was skiing last week, but and away, but on a lot of these videos I'm having these bigger targets, but it just seems to be the way that it is at the moment, that I'm finding these trades where I want to hold on to them for more. So this euro dollar trade at the moment, it has a target, like I think I said earlier on, above 113. In fact, it's around about 113.20 or so at the moment. And that level is changing as the day progresses, so we'll see, but it's going to be wide up there. So we're just sitting on this position. There's nothing for me to do. Do I need to move my stop to break even? We could have a look at that, because this is the sort of trade that at some point I probably could, probably once we break out above these highs, but I have no interest in, it's only a 6 pip stop anyway, so I'm not that fussed about that. But maybe once we break up, if we break up above these highs, then I'd look at that. But for now, it's had a nice enough run on the 5 minute chart. It's got a long way to go. If I had an out and out intraday sort of attitude to this, then you'd start looking at levels where you would be saying, right, okay, I'm going to bank profit maybe against that prior low over there, maybe against that prior low there. Oh, let me just get rid of a call. or against a moving average, whatever. You can always find a level where you want to bank profit. But I've looked at this today from that slightly bigger picture perspective, looking at my 4-hour charts. So I'm basing my targets based on what I'm seeing there. So anyway, that's a little update for now. We'll come back to this later. Okay, just back. I'm just chatting with the guys in the room here, and I've actually just been stopped. It's what, 10 to 1 now. Let's take this down to the 5-minute chart just so you can see. So this is where we got in this morning. It's run up like when I last was probably talking to you, somewhere over here, and it's gradually then just rolled back over. So it's not to say we've got in with a 6-pip stop there or whatever it was. I'll bring up the trade in a moment, so it's not to say that at a later time it couldn't come up again, but for now that trade is over. It was an ideal little opportunity there. It had a nice run, but it hasn't, in the end, it hasn't held on. So if I go back out to the hourly chart on the euro is obviously, the euro is struggling, but I was just talking to the guys here. Interestingly, the pound dollar is doing better today, and even the Aussie dollar is doing okay. So this is very much a euro based weakness that we're seeing here at the moment. So and the euro, as we can see, is just coming down. So we'll have to see what happens with that. So if there's any other trades here this afternoon, then we'll come on to this. I don't think it's finished yet, but oh yeah, let's just take a quick screenshot of that trade. So I mean, there it is. So there we got in at 73. It's executed me out at 67, like I said earlier on, and so £49 loss. So it's not much. Kept it small. Not worth putting full size onto a trade like that because I'm trying to hold it. But anyway, we'll keep an eye on this, and we'll see on all these markets and see if there's anything else crops up here this afternoon. Okay, just back, and we can see that obviously the euro broke down back here and took the stop out on the 5-minute chart here, but it's carried on coming down. This is just the 5-minute chart again. I've just been looking at the bigger time frames off screen. It is rolling over, and so I'm just waiting to see how this candle closes. It's negative enough. Quite a bit of volumes come through on that candle for some reason, but. So if we can get a little retrace, then I'll put a short in and see if we can get a short to come down for yesterday's lows. So a little bit of a retrace. We've got the potential. No, we haven't. Okay, just a little bit of a bounce will do into this zone. 66 will do it, and I can pop a stop up above this 70 odd zone. It's also small again today, but I'm just trying to find something here to take away. So and the nice thing with this euro dollar is it's just such a small range, isn't it, overall? So we'll see if it's going to break yesterday's lows. If we go to the daily chart, this is the daily chart. So this is where we're at. We're coming down again here. It could be that this is just probing and it's going to just hold overall and then work its way higher next week. But as it stands, for the sake of another small trade with however many pips at risk, that is 7-8 pips, I'll do it. I'll put the trade on because I'm not trading 1% at risk here. I'm just putting a 1-lot unit in and just risking 50 quid a time. So on this on the challenge account here. So just keep. So it's worthwhile if it risks 50 to make 100 or whatever it might be. Yeah, okay, we'll do that. So that's the daily chart there anyway. So if I go back to the intraday, so I'm just looking for a little bit of a bounce, and I'm having to go with the fact that it's rolling. So I said about 66 there. I'm just checking off screen. Didn't want to be too greedy. If I go in at 60, I'm looking at putting the stop just above this high here. If it's going to roll over, I want it to hold that. So it's just a case of whether it's going to let me in now. That 66 level might be adjusted. That might get adjusted yet. So let's just see. I'll press pause while I'm waiting. Okay, so we're just missing out here a little bit. We're looking for that little retracement here on the 5-minute chart. We're just not quite getting it, and it's just running away from me. I can't chase it. I was saying to the guys in the room here, I just can't justify chasing it because I can't get the risk reward by just jumping on board. So I can't chase it. It's not enough pips. The first target is down at yesterday's lows, my purple line, which indicates the prior day's lows and the prior day's highs. So it's not worth it to chase it. It's only down at 112.49. We're at 52 now. But it, so I mean, it could well go for a break, and I'm sure it will do. But that would be the first target, and it's just coming into it now. So a bit of a shame that oh, there it goes, all the way down to 45. Just had a lovely little flurry there down. So and I suspect, like I was just saying to the guys, on the daily charts, we're breaking that low. We should want to come down for the lows of November, which are down that bit lower in the low 112s. So could there still be another potential trade? There could be. There could be another potential trade on the short side, but again, I need to get a retracement. I still need to get a retracement to get the risk reward for even that level. So at the moment, I'm being shut out of the move because it didn't quite give us. I was looking at 66 up here, and it sat around 63 or so. So we're being shut out of the move and could be missing out on. Well, I already am missing out on a bit of a rundown, and I suspect it could easily carry on. Those lows from November, what we're looking at, yeah, 112.15 or so roughly. So that's what we're looking at down to those lows, and it could do that this afternoon. So if I can get a retracement, a bit of a retrace, it could still happen, but it's going to take a bit of time. So at the moment, it's a shame I couldn't get in up there, but say la vie. It's one of those things, isn't it? So we'll see. Nice moves down, nice candles down, but it's going to have to close and then do a bit of a retrace and see if I can get in. So I'll press pause now. But it's looking less likely because it looks like it's on a run now. But I still have to, as a trader, try and get in when I can get a good risk reward to the next level. The next level's down, like I said, at 112.15. If I was to chase it now, where would I put my stop? A stop would still have to be up at, blimey, 65.70. Really, probably still 75 realistically. So the risk reward isn't quite there at the moment. So I've still got to wait for that pullback. Okay, just back and just getting ready in time. Get the deal ticket across. Okay, going to put a unit in there at 52. This time, the stops has to still be up at 74, and we're just going to have to see if it's going to whether this is just a bounce and we're going to come down, or whether it's doing a complete reversal. But the path is to the downside. So short at 52 there, and I'll just get the stop done. So let's have a look. Stop in at 112.74. So it's about 22 pips stop. So as it's just come up there, it's just done that retrace into downwards facing MAs. So we'll see. I don't expect it to just come straight down because it's had a nice enough run now. So I suspect it will probably bobble around for a while now. But we're going to be looking at those lows around 112.15 for a break of those lows. But that may not happen until next week. We'll have to see. But we've come down, we've broken these lows. It's always possible that when you break a low that there's a bigger bounce coming as well, but that's on this time frame. As I've said, on the daily charts, we've broken these lows. The November lows look quite enticing at this stage, but we'll have to see. Anyway, that's the next trade in. So it's 2 trades now. I've only put 1 unit in on each trade, but it's 2 trades nevertheless. So let's see how we go this time. Okay, just back, and look, I've literally just been having my lunch, and the euro's already come up further and just chopped me up here and stopped me out. So So we had this morning's trade, which was the £49 trade, wasn't it? And then we've just had this one, so it's nothing too major. But anyway, there's the two losses for today. So we had this morning's one, and we just had this one where I shorted at 52, had the stop at, ooh, I had a stop at 74. Blimey, that must have shot through. Yeah, it did. It just flew up. So I had a bit of slippage there. See, that's slippage in the real market there. Anyway, so 270 pounds loss there today. So again, it's not huge, but it's it's a loss. So two small losing trades there. Looks like I've got chopped there. Then looks like maybe the original analysis on this euro is going to come back if it holds up. That original analysis from this morning is gonna hold again. But we'll see. This could just be a load of noise and it still rolls over again yet later. But that's me done. I'm not bothering with anymore. It's now, 20 past 2 in the afternoon. That's me done. I shall leave you to it. Have a nice weekend and I'll be back in touch next week.